What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Armon, and we are back with another video. Get in here, everybody, get in here. It's time for a legendary show. Listen, I'm a little tired, but we're gonna get into some things, all right? So let me throw my headphones on real quick so I can really hear y'all. All right, what's poppin', everybody? It just be messing up this be messing up my hat. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give a little hat vibe, and these headphones don't be working with me, so I'm gonna have to take these mugs off or switch to hat or something. You feel me? Let me see, because it's not trying to, it's really trying to eat up my little swag. All right. But listen, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Armon, and we're back with another video. You know what I'm saying? Getting into some things. Well, we have the Wendy Williams documentary and the biopic finally released and aired for everyone to see. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys like it? Were you guys here for it? Which one did you guys prefer? I want to know what you guys think, so we will open up the call-in lines a little bit later on in the show. All right, but before we do all of that, I would like to give my opinion on the biopic and the documentary. All right, so here I'm trying to get my life together. look, I'm trying. This is not the. Look at this hat. But luckily, you know what? I'm about to ditch this hat. That hat is gone. Okay? It looked cute when I first did it, but this is better for me. Forget it. All right? It just wasn't working. All right. So anyway, here's the tea. So pretty much, I'll give my opinion on what I thought about the Wendy Williams biopic. Well, first, let's start with the biopic. I thought the biopic was good. First of all, I love Wendy Williams. I love everything that she does. She's very, very inspirational. I literally love the biopic and the documentary because I love Wendy Williams. Everybody that knows me knows that Wendy Williams is my favorite celebrity. Her and Nicki Minaj are my two favorite celebrities. Love them damn. So I thought the biopic was great, and I thought the documentary was good. However, I will say this. There could have been a lot more added to it. Now, here's the thing. If you're just finding out about Wendy Williams, if you're just now learning about Wendy Williams, then, you know, the biopic is really going to be the best thing that you've ever seen, right? However, if you've done your research on her, you know that you've done history on Wendy Williams, you'll realize that there's a lot of information that has been left out. And I don't think it was her fault. I just think it's because it's for TV, and there's only so much that you can put in there. So of course they had to put in, you know, the assault. Of course they had to put in the cocaine. Of course they had to put in, you know, Kevin, you know, cheating. Of course they put in, you know, the piece with Sharina, but there was a lot of pieces that got left out. For me, once I read her book, Wendy's Got the Heat, if you've read that book, then you've seen the biopic and some, okay? There was a lot of pieces that I felt like should have been in there, but I really also feel like Wendy Williams needs a movie in theaters. You know what I mean? I feel like a biopic doesn't really do her justice because her story is so extensive and so detailed and so inspirational that a quick little 2-hour biopic for Lifetime, you know, with a little cheesy acting, I don't think that is going to really do the Wendy Williams legacy the way that it needs to be done. I would have actually preferred to wait and see a full movie that goes into theaters, you know, about Wendy Williams, because, you know, there's pieces about her. I would wanted to see her from as a child a little bit longer in that, because I think her as a child tells a lot about her relationship with her mother. You know what I mean? While her mother loved her and she loved her mother, I could tell that there was a strain there between her and her mother, and she's always held that about her with her mother. You know what I'm saying? She's always held that little piece of resentment in regards to her mother. She's always had that there. Even when her mom would come onto the show, she would kind of like, you know, make little digs about how her mom has called her fat and said she talks too much. And then she'd go like, but I'm sitting here and they're at my show. You know what I mean? So she would always kind of like, You guys said I talk too much. You guys said I'm fat, but I'm the richest one out of the whole family, So she would do those things. So I would like to see a little bit more of the relationship between her and her mother, her and her brother Tommy. Maybe we could have learned a little bit more about Tommy and understood why Tommy is the way he is now. What about Wanda? We didn't see anything about Wanda. We've always heard that Wanda, was the sister that everybody looked up to, and she was the smart one, and she was the star child, but we didn't learn that much about Wanda. There's also information about Wendy Williams, going to college and doing college radio and actually getting these jobs and not being able to, applying for jobs and getting turned down and actually mailing in her tapes and nobody responding until one day she got a job. I think she even moved to like the Bahamas and did a stay out in the Bahamas and did radio in the Bahamas. Like, you wouldn't know that unless you read the book. You know what I mean? I feel like her journey is so much more than the salacious headlines that we wanted to know, so much more than the tea. But I feel like, she knew that people wanted her dirt more, and I feel like or she felt like people probably wanted her dirt more than they wanted her true story. I personally wanted the true Wendy story. You know what I mean? She was a big fan of Howard Stern. Howard Stern was one of her idols. Howard Stern, it was interesting because when she worked for WBLS out in DC, and she was like living in Jersey, she would go, and she talked about it briefly in the movie, but she would go and be so high and drive 5 hours to DC off the cocaine, and that was how she would get to her job. However, she would be listening to Howard Stern the whole way from New York to DC, back from DC to New York. She would be playing Howard Stern. I want to hear that. Why do you think that she didn't add Howard Stern in it? Because they've been getting into it the last couple of years. However, Howard Stern was a very pivotal person and a staple in her career. She looked up to Howard Stern. Before there was a Wendy Williams, there was a Howard Stern, and she looked to him. So I thought that, that would be interesting to put in the biopic. Also, she briefly talked about how, she would do coke. This is all things that I already know. This is things that was not in the movie. These are things that I know that I would have liked to be in the movie. Okay. She also talks about how one time, I remember specifically how she talked about, she kind of briefly touched on it in the documentary. She talks about how she one time got so high and she passed out. Well, according to her in the book, she was on air at the radio station and went to the bathroom, got so high, passed out, and there was dead air. You know what I mean? Like, there was literally dead air on air, and they caught her like, what's going on? Why is it dead air? And everybody knows if you're in radio, dead air is a no-no. You cannot have dead air. And so I would have liked her to kind of elaborate on that experience, because that was traumatizing. She almost got caught. You know what I mean? Like, she was that high. So, I mean, there's little things like that I would have wanted to know a little bit more about. I would have liked to know, about her previous ex-husband before Kevin. But, I just feel like, I wish there was a little bit more in there. I kind of feel like the documentary was like bits and pieces, but we have to hurry up and get through the parts that she felt like the people will really care about, and there is an audience of people like myself that really truly want to be inspired by the come up, by the story. Like, I would have loved to see, some of these mock interviews. I mean, yes, they talked about some of the iconic ones with Whitney Houston, and they talked about, the Mariah Carey, but Lil' Kim was iconic. Destiny's Child was iconic. Judge Mathis was another iconic interview. I mean, he dragged her for filth. You know what I mean? The Chingy situation. Charlemagne and Chingy, when they interviewed Chingy, that was legendary. Like, they were going in on Chingy. Like, there's a lot of moments that we did not get. That could have even been in the documentary. You know what I mean? So while I think it was good, I kind of feel like it was condensed so far down that, if you're a true Wendy fan, and if you're a Wendy Williams connoisseur and you really study Wendy Williams, then you knew this stuff already. And it's kind of like a watered down. I mean, but I'm going to support it because she gave us something. However, in my opinion, the stuff that she was talking about while promoting the movie and the documentary was far more interesting than a lot of the things that we've seen in the documentary. at least from my perspective, because I've done so much research on Wendy Williams to where it's like, all right, Chow, maybe tell me something I didn't know that you didn't put in the book. I didn't know about the Method Man situation. So that would have been something interesting to throw into a movie, you know. However, I get the fact that it is on Lifetime. It's for TV. You gotta edit. So you gotta edit. And so you gotta make sure you got the best parts. The miscarriages, the cheating, the drug use, the sex, whatever. And then the guy, Eric B, is that his name? Y'all knew about him. I don't really know about him. The guy who ruined her credit. I mean, those were the main things that she kind of really touched, but I would have liked to see more of her story. But anyway, although I think it was still good. Now, if we're talking about the biopic itself, I had the privilege of doing press. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really want to interview the actors. We were in a press room. I just was listening. And the girl really, she worked really hard. What was her name? I don't even know her name. She worked really hard to try to get that Wendy Williams image down. And the guy, I should probably do this right. I should do this the right way. Let me do this the right way. Let me just get their names. Sierra Payton. Okay, let me do this the right way. Because and I want to shout out to my girl Kales for hooking that up real quick, for getting me that exclusive press pass to be able to get the show exclusively and to actually be in the interview. So well, here we go, right here, boom. So it's Sarah Payton and Morocco. Okay, so boom, let me give you some inside tea. Sierra Payton. So Wendy, she really did a lot of work trying to study Wendy Williams. Okay, she did really good. She said some of the hardest parts of working doing this role was the drug scenes, because her father dealt with drugs, and it was very tough for her, and she realized how tough Wendy Williams was, and she wanted to make sure that the fall was exactly right. Like, she studied that fall like to the T so that she could have that fall right. She was really, really excited to do the role, and I think she did a good job. Now, Morocco Omari, he actually said that there was no information on Kevin Hunter anywhere. All he could do is go from what Wendy told him. He heard an interview from on YouTube of Kevin Hunter speaking. So little things like that he would have to try to use to try to channel Kevin Hunter. He never, in fact, talked to Kevin Hunter. He never spoke to him, and he didn't really want to reach out to Kevin Hunter because it was Wendy Williams' story. This is what he said on in the press lounge where we were at. And so I thought he did a phenomenal job without having any conversation with Kevin, without knowing anything about Kevin, and with having very little information to go off in regards to Kevin. I think that they both did a phenomenal job in the biopic. Now, things that stood out to me. Wendy smoking out the crack pipe. That was very, very interesting. Also, the stillbirths. And to be honest with you, I think she had 6 miscarriages. I think she only showed maybe 2 or 3, but I think that she's lost actually 6 kids before she ended up having little Kevin. But I thought it was good. Some of the characters was a fool. The Charlemagne character, they did Charlemagne very dirty. They did Charlemagne absolutely vicious. They played in Charlemagne's face. They definitely played in Charlemagne's face for that. They did him a dirty one. That was it. Let me see if I can't even Google the guy that played Charlemagne, but they played him dirty. Yeah, but it was cool. It was cool. I just know that there's so much more, that could have been put into it. I feel like they rushed to her radio days. They did nothing about her TV. You know what I mean? They didn't really show a lot of her TV. I just feel like Wendy Williams, while this was great, I would like to see the Wendy Williams movie in theaters, because I feel like I could do a 2.5 hour Wendy Williams movie. You know what I mean? Like from start to finish. Like really give it to me. So yeah. So there's that. The documentary was cool. The documentary was good. You know, we got to see that, you know, from what I've got from all of this is Kevin really messed her up. You know what I mean? And I like that she threw Suzanne in there, because, you know, for a lot, we always think that her and Suzanne can't stand each other. And I still, don't think Suzanne really likes her. And I think Wendy is a little bit difficult to work with. But I'm glad that Suzanne got to be in the documentary. I'm glad that Charlamagne was in the documentary. Wendy Williams' mom was in there. That was amazing to me that she was in the documentary right before she passed. The clout chasing brother Tommy was in the documentary, and countless co-workers and bosses, and, you know, the owners of Debmar Mercury and Buneman Murray, they were in there. They were in the documentary. So I thought that was really good. And then you know, that was cool. But I think the most interesting part about this whole thing for me, you know, I thought it was very interesting how Wendy was talking about on her come up, how people would all of a sudden want to be like her, or you'd see all these different Wendy Williams in different markets. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Wendy Williams inspires me. She inspires so many people. Like, Wendy Williams is literally why I do what I do, and I feel like I have a reason to do what I do. You know what I mean? Like, she is everything when it comes to that. Like, and I live for it. I live for her. I love her. And I also understand why, you know, she cannot be duplicated and will never be. You know, nowadays you have YouTubers and different blogs and personalities that they want to try to be Wendy Williams. And I don't care if you can exploit, expose, and you get whatever stories. There's a certain thing that Wendy Williams has that cannot be duplicated. You know what I'm saying? You cannot buy an it factor. You cannot buy a certain tenacity or charisma that Wendy Williams has. Like, the way that she gets up there and kind of like her personality kind of just is, and she's relatable. Like, you know, I see why, like, it was hard for people to kind of mimic her, because anybody can go up here and try to gossip and people will listen. You know what I mean? But does it really connect? Does it have an impact? And I feel like with Wendy, she's like, I don't know, she has this like little it factor that can't be taught or can't be bought, that maybe a lot of people that come after her, that tried to mimic and copy her, or even to this day, they don't have that. So, you know, she just has this, I don't know, it's this air about her that it locks in, and it connects. Like, I don't know, it's a certain charisma that she has, the way that she delivers a topic, the way that she, you know, the way how she can just get on here and just start talking. And so, what did you have? Are those boobs real? Oh my God, I thought that you looked amazing yesterday, but the tits got to be fake. I know it. Like, she just goes like and then she'll like, just like, it's just so natural. Like, she just jumps right in. And it's almost like this rawness of it all that I live for her. So, yeah, I think that was great. And I like that she noticed that she's pioneered a lane where so many people have tried to duplicate, and probably will never be able to do. And so, you know, not to mention, Wendy Williams was literally she came out during the rise of hip hop. So there was no internet, there was no cell phones. Hip hop had barely really got into gear for real. So she literally broke in, like, you know, so there will never be another Wendy Williams, because, you know, unless there's a whole nother era of something. But I just feel like at this point it's done. But yeah, you know, so also on the flip side, though, I think it's very, very interesting that her biggest moment, or her career defining moment, or just, you know, on the lateral end of her career, she is now having to look at all of this, you know, where we're celebrating her. You know, she's got a Hollywood star of fame. She's got millions and millions and millions of dollars. She has her name in lights. She has a documentary, a movie, a television show. All from, being messy, gossiping, talking a lot, exposing, exploiting. All for that through the microphone, and all for that for the microphone to turn and camera and all the eyes to be back on her. To have gained all of that and lose your whole foundation. Like, that's the gag. Like, that, to me, yeah, it sounds good. Wendy's legendary. Wendy's this, Wendy's that. But we're watching Wendy Williams 20, 30 years in reap everything that she's sown. Yes, she's got a TV deal. Yes, she's got millions. But let me tell you something. This is a prime example of money not making you happy, or money not bringing happiness. Wendy Williams, she might be happy, but is she happy? And the answer is hell no, she ain't happy. She lost her whole family to a side chick and a new baby. And she was forced to put it in a movie and show the world. I don't think she would have thought that this is what her biggest moment was going to be. The basis of her career defining moment in her movie and her docuseries would be the man that helped her, get to where she is, the one that actually had her, they had a kid together. The father of her child, her husband, her protector would be her biggest moment. Like, she did all of this talking about everybody else's business, and then the very man that she would go lay down with was going to make her be the biggest tabloid or headline she's ever talked about. That's a gag. That's a mother effing gag. So, don't get lost in the I can drag. Like, while I love to be like Wendy, while I aspire, while I like what she's about and what she does, there's a certain levels that I don't want. Because, I don't there's a price to pay for everything that you do. And, I wouldn't want to lose my whole family at 55 years old, lymphedema, I'm frail, I'm this, I'm that. And, my nigga's gone. I have all this fame and fortune, and I lost my whole family. Mama died, husband gone, cheated with a new baby. Son, it's just like, yeah, you Wendy Williams, but who are you when you're just Wendy at home? You're just you're an older lady at home with your two cats, hooked up to your lymphedema machine, sitting in this beautiful, $15,000 a month apartment somewhere in Manhattan, upper Manhattan. But girl, your man is gone, and everybody knows, and nobody gives a damn. And she talks about not wanting sympathy, and I believe her, because she can't. How can you want sympathy? You can't get in sympathy. She knows she cannot get sympathy. She knows she can't get no sympathy. So, I thought that was very, very interesting, and that was an eye opener for me. And then the fact, I think it's interesting that we find out that, we've always heard it, but we find out that she has literally been knowing that this man been cheating on her for 13 years, 14 years with this woman, and you knew. It's just like, because you didn't want to, because as tough as she wanted to be, as tough as she didn't want the embarrassment. She didn't want the embarrassment, child. She didn't want to believe it. She didn't want to believe it. And you stayed with a man that was literally cheating on you for years. And I believe she would have been, if Kevin would not have had that baby, Wendy Williams would still be with Kevin today. It was the baby for her. He could have been cheating on her and cheating on her and cheating on her and cheating on her and cheating on her. It was the baby. But then what does that say about your self-esteem? What does that say about your spirit? What does that say about your soul? That sounds like a really, really broken woman. And so that's why also too, although, you know, I look at Wendy and I have to see, and I realize like, okay, yes, we celebrate her in her iconicness and being able to, you know, trailblaze the industry and make money off of talking about people. But, you know, to a certain degree, there's a thin line between confidence and insecurity. You know, support and jealousy, or a thin line between, you know, support and happiness for others, and, you know, jealousy and envy for others. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, and the person that kind of does the same kind of work that she does, I have to make sure where my intentions are and why am I doing what I'm doing? Because, you know, one can look at her and be like, well, wow. Well, what made you want to go to these deep, dark depths on people? Were you just nosy? Were you just entertained by the celebrities, or did you have, or were you hurt because your mom called you fat and you felt ugly, and so you wanted to lash out on other people? So, you know, I don't know. Watching this, it made me, because I do look up to her and I do idolize Wendy Williams. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but watching this made me really think a lot about internally into my own self and why I do certain things and why I would want to do something and what would I want my legacy to be. You know what I'm saying? So I thought this was really, really good. I mean, it was great. You know, and I listen to Charlamagne, and he's always like, I just hope, and all the time he always says, I just hope she's happy. I hope she finds whatever happiness she's looking for. And I just feel like she ain't that happy. However, all in all, it was good. I liked it. I think as the viewers, right, now that was from my perspective, but I feel like as a lot of the viewers, y'all got y'all life, y'all got the tea, right? Y'all was able to get the tea. Y'all got the tea with Eric B. And, you know, y'all got the, you know, the salacious, the stuff that, you know, that everybody like the main tea points. But I feel like there was still a lot of like good meaty building blocks that was left out. It kind of got straight to the drama. And it was like, well, yeah, I care about her relationships and all these different men, but I want to see about this career a little bit more. I want to like really take me through, you know, what this was like in the 90s, you know? So, but yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I still support it. I think it's still good. I'm glad we got it, and I'm glad we got it while she's alive. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I'll open up the lines and I want to hear what you guys all have to say. Okay. The number is 563-999-3658. But you know, she did her thing though. She always says, remember, you're your own best friend. Let me see. Let's get the call-in number going, baby. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. All right, let's go. All right, 1809, you're live on the air.
Hey, Armon.
Hey, what's going on?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. How are you?
I'm good. I like you kind of just went through all the emotions of everything. Just, you know, the good, the bad, the true sadness of Wendy. And I think that for me, being a longtime Wendy fan, that's what my takeaway was from the movie, was that it's like you watched it and you're like, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Even like when she used to talk about her best friend Reg all the time. Reg not at all.
Yeah.
You know, the time when she was on you know, remember when she used to be on VH1 while she was on radio and all the stuff like that?
The Wendy Williams Experience, yeah.
Like, it was just so much that really was not covered. I didn't care. We knew about the drugs. You know, it was just so awkward watching this lady play Wendy having sex with these guys. It's just, I wanted to know, like, the real, like you said, I want to know why who introduced her to drugs? Like,
right.
You know, the real child, like all the things that really make Wendy Wendy. I didn't, we know Kevin was, a big part of her life and, her downfall and whatever, however she wants to put it. But dang it, I just really wish that we could have seen more. Even her sitting on that couch in the documentary crying because there was nobody there. But I've heard her talk about so many people in the past that were there. Did she push those people away because of Kevin? Like, it's just like
right. So like, let's get
like,
into that. Like, get into, like, if you're going to get into it, get into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. This was all about, to me, this kind of came all about, I feel like this was all about, her releasing about Kevin really messed this up. I feel like this was her way of kind of just like responding to the Kevin situation. That really broke her. But I think it overshadowed her true story.
That's right. And I want to know her true story. I don't care about Kevin. And I hate that the whole situation with him and that girl and all that had to be such a big part of, even like when she was talking about stuff, when she talked about stuff before Kevin, it's like, okay, well then, and then Kevin came along. It's like, even when she's talking about stuff that was before Kevin, it's like you're talking about this looming story coming. Like okay, so we got to hear about Kevin in a minute. So it's
right,
like, dude, like we understand, but I really feel so, I feel so much for Wendy because I can see the transparency sometimes, and I can see, and it's like she's wasted a lot of years on this man, and now she's like you said, she's an older, frail woman. I do hope that she does find that true happiness, but right now, I do not think that it's in the near future, and I feel so bad about that because we love her for what she brought to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you, caller. I'm definitely with you. So thank you, caller. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Armon.
Bye. Have a good day. All right. So who else we got? Do we have any super chats to the top? Let me see, because I seen them coming in, but I could have missed some. Okay. 9001. All right. Let me see what we got. 9001. You're live on the air.
Hey, Armon.
Hi.
How are you?
Yes. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I feel sorry for Wendy. She got all that money and all that fame, and she is very, very sad and unhappy. I feel so bad when I saw her crying in that documentary. And it's like everybody said, when did she start using drugs and what led up to that?
Well, that's all in the book. Like, she met this drug man. She was at his house. Like, that's all in the Wendy's Got the Heat book. Like, that's what I'm saying. The book is if you want the full story, now that you got those contexts, grab the book and you'll get all the tea.
Well, you know what? The only other thing that I thought about is the reason why she put up with Kelvin like she did is because I think that she honestly, deep down inside, felt that that's the best that she could do.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that, and that's why she put up with it as long as she did. Because she thought this is the best I can do, and I'm just gonna ride it out. I'm the wife, and I'm just gonna ride it out, and eventually he's gonna come back to me. But when she got pregnant, then that was the situation. She couldn't deny that anymore.
Yeah.
He really has gone on and moved on with this woman. She's pregnant. I had a hard time having one baby, and look at her. She's just pregnant and there's no problem. And I think that's what broke her. When Kelvin got that woman pregnant, that broke her emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And I it's sad, but I can understand that. Because, for Kelvin's part, I think he still has love for her, but he hasn't been in love with her for a very, very long time. And he, he stayed because of the money and because of the influence and stuff. But I kind of think he never broke up with her. It was kind of like a pity thing, too. And the side piece, she just pushed the envelope when she got pregnant.
So let me ask you this. What did you think? Were you here when Sherrick's wife called in?
Yes.
Now, when you
Yes,
seen
I
the
was.
episode and they were drinking the liquor, do you think that really they were smoking the crack?
Yes. Yes, I do. But that still didn't give him the right to do what he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I, you know, if she didn't want to have sex with him, he should not have forced her to do it. I don't care what
Yeah.
they were doing. They could have been doing moonbeams up in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think she was, because they showed her smoking crack in the movie.
Yeah, they did. They showed it. They remember I told you, I said that you will see a scene where she's smoking a pipe out of a pipe. Yes, they did.
Right. So yeah, I think it's a good possibility that she was smoking and drinking, and you know, one thing led to another, and he, you know, he took advantage of her. Yeah, I think that. I'm not gonna victim shame her. I mean, she
Mhm.
made some bad choices of staying up in that room when she felt uneasy. But you know, when you got low self-esteem, and she probably was half high when she came up in there, your thought processes is not what they should be. So you know, I can understand now. I'm a grown woman. I can understand how she stayed there, but that still doesn't give him the right to use that R word on her. That's not right. But I just think that she's just really, I feel sorry for her.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I feel sorry for her. And not so much because of the lymphedema and all of that. I feel sorry because to me, that's a woman with a broken spirit.
Mm.
And you know, and that's broken mentally and broken physically. That's the part that I feel.
Well, but you can you really feel sorry? Like, here's the thing. This is when they say, to me, if we really being honest, to me, when people talk about selling your soul, it's not necessarily like, you know, you take your soul out and you give it to somebody. This could be a prime example of someone, you know, seemingly selling their soul. You have the world, you have the name and lights, the television show, the movie, the Hollywood star, all the money in Birkin bags and designer you can imagine. But guess what? You're miserable on the inside. And towards the later end of your life, it all comes falling down. And now, all that talking that you've done on the radio about people and just on your television show, the biggest moment in your career is a movie about how you lost your whole family and how your husband cheated on you with a younger woman and left you while he had a baby. Wow.
Yeah, that's sad. That's really
Wow.
sad. And some people would say that's karma. You know, I don't know if I go that far, but it's really, really bad. Because in the end, she got all that stuff, and she's by herself.
Yeah, so
And
that's selling your soul.
People, we want to have another person with us.
Yeah. All right, Carla, we got to keep it moving. I got a lot of people on here, love, but thank you so much. You know, I love me and you could go in for hours, girl. We and you could talk, so I got to keep it moving, love. I love you for calling in. Okay, hello. Let me see. That's me and Auntie. Me and Auntie could really go in for hours. All right, 1877. You live on the air.
Hey, Armon. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I loved both the movie and the documentary afterward. But there's so much. There's so much to say. I don't even know where to begin. So there was a lot. First of all, she is completely unhinged. Like, we saw a very broken woman. And then even leading up to during the promotions and when you saw the back and forth with her son and with her brother, and what happened when her mom died and Kelvin came to the funeral, she's still in love with that man. She is broken.
Mm-hmm.
She's still in love with him. And so I am from New York. I was around during that time and know people who were close to the situation. And I agree with Charlemagne. There was definitely physical abuse there. I know she's trying to still protect him to this day. There was definitely physical situations. I know firsthand. Well, not firsthand because I wasn't there, but someone who was did security for them. So I agree with him. There was definitely physical situations.
Oh, I
there,
believe
allegedly.
that too. No, I believe that too.
Yeah,
But she's trying to
absolutely.
protect him for
And
whatever
if she
reason.
knew that, yeah, and the you know what I heard was that they would go at it, so they were kind of fighting each other. But if she's not winning the fight, let's just keep it real. So we know what that's about. So in addition to everything else, it's physical. But just from my personal experience, what I can relate to with her is that every good girl likes a bad guy, right? Likes a bad boy. And I think she got so caught up in it from her upbringing, from her like pristine kind of upbringing, to this bad boy kind of image that he had. He became her confidant. He became her best friend. He became her protector, and allowed her to go out there and tell salacious news on people. And he was not letting anyone do anything to her, and that's gone now. And it's just sad. It's just real. And I think that she really felt that they were like a Bonnie and Clyde, that they really had this strong thug love kind of situation, and he was integral. I think he helped her with her self-esteem, and he really championed for her, even though he had this really dark side to him. So she still loved him. I think she didn't really want to discuss the physical aspect because she's trying to protect her son. And there's just so many more layers there. And I really, my heart goes out to her. But I really appreciate she was as transparent as she could be given her circumstances.
Yes.
And I appreciated it. I really did. But there was a lot. It was hard to fit 30 years of stuff into a 2-hour movie. I wish they would have made it a 2-part something.
But
There's
you know what? It was never gonna be all the way right because of the ending. You see what I'm saying? I feel like this only came about this way because of Kevin and what he did. That's
right.
I feel like the energy of the divorce and the cheating overshadowed the Wendy Williams story.
You know, let me ask you this. Do you think that if it wasn't for this, do you think that she decided, because she seems to have this overarching theme of whatever people try to down her or whatever, she's going to use it as a come up. So to her benefit, let's put it like that. Do you think that if all of this hadn't happened, would this movie have still come out? Would this have even, do you think this biopic would
I don't know if it would have came out. I don't know if it would have came out right now, because I feel like this is only coming out like this because this was kind of her trying to get back at Kevin in a response. Like she just kind of jumped on this, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this came out because of what happened. I feel like they would have. I feel like this would have been a more. This definitely, and if it would have came out, it would have been put out a different way for sure. Right. Yeah, so maybe this was, the show may have been kind of fading a little bit. And and this was
using this to kind of reinvigorate herself. So
yeah,
kudos. Hell, if you got to go through something and you can use it as a come up, why not?
Yeah.
Turn
I'm with
your
you.
Pain into profit. I don't know.
All right, Carla, let's keep it moving. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right.
Bye. All right, let's take another one. Do we get any more super? Okay, boom. Okay, so I'm not missing anybody's super chats to the top, right? All right, cool. All right, boom. Let's get it. Who we got? Okay, 0646. You live on the air.
Hey, Armon.
Hey, what's poppin'?
So I feel like her documentary should have been way longer. It should have been as long as like the Jackson 5 movie. Because we didn't get the full story. I feel like her showing the clip where she peed on herself as a child, I feel like there was way more to her childhood.
Yes.
So that's a sign of trauma.
Trauma, yeah.
Severe trauma. And I feel like her childhood wasn't as picture perfect as she tried to make it seem.
And I think it stems from
like
directly the mother. The mom, her and her mom did not have the best relationship.
I think her mom was very toxic, and it was a big role in how she felt about herself mentally. I think her mom played a big role in that. And then also, I feel like that also led to her drug use.
Possibly.
So, like,
I could see that.
I just feel like it just was so much more that could have been touched on. Also, like the story of her dating Biggie at one point. Why wasn't that brought up since she wanted to talk about other artists?
Right. However, I think that, to be honest with you, they could have almost kept the biopic and just did a 4-hour documentary. Like you said, or do the Jackson 5 movie, how long is that movie? Like 3 hours? 4 hours?
Yeah, it was like 2 parts.
Yeah.
2 parts. Yeah,
they could have done that. She has the story for that, and we would have sat through that whole thing, because not even just the drama is interesting, it's the come up. Like, you got this radio mogul in the 90s breaking all this news and exclusives, and it would have been nice to see Diddy getting her kicked out, or when Will Smith said that he was going to sue her and get her shut down, and what I mean, she's had a lot of encounters with people. And so you're right. I think they could have kept the biopic and did like a 4-hour doc or something. I don't know. And because and then too, with these biopics, I hate to say this, but the budgets don't be all the way right with the biopics.
I agree, but I actually like the production. I didn't think it was too cheap. I thought it was decent, but like you said, I just feel like her whole story was not told. She's like the culture of radio.
Yeah.
She set the tone for so many people, and she's also a woman that set the tone for so many people. So I just feel like her whole story was not told, and they didn't give her due justice, I don't think.
I think it gave her justice for people that don't know, that didn't know anything, right? Or that kind of just know surface level, and that just kind of wanted to see, well, girl, what's your tea? Let's get into your drama. You know what I mean? I think it did something for those people that just kind of wanted to see her skeletons a little bit.
Agree, but for the true followers, you're not going to tell me that she didn't know Kevin had a woman down the street. I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
No, and then the whole apartment in Fort Lee, why didn't they show more about that? Because when she did, somebody associated with that apartment in Fort Lee did an interview with, we're not going to say her name on your show, but there was so much tea and details about Kevin having a man there that he was sleeping with and other people that he had other dealings with, while also spending Wendy's money on these people. Why wasn't that told?
Well, according to that person who shall be nameless, apparently Wendy Williams gave her a shout out, but I'd seen it before it came out. I'd never seen the shout out, so I don't know if Wendy may have mentioned it, and we all must have missed it.
Possibly, but
yeah, I think we were all asleep, or it may have been a glitch on the cable services, because the girl said that Wendy shouted her out, so I don't know. But thank you, caller.
I didn't see that shout out.
Me neither.
All right,
bye. So anyway, let's take another call. 2622, you live on the air.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys on Wendy. There's way more to her story in her childhood, especially with her pissing the bed and stuff like that. I feel like maybe she suffered through abuse her whole life, because if you look at some of the trauma that she's talking to about her and Kevin, it kind of doesn't make sense that he wasn't beating her.
Right.
Because, you mean to tell me that you got all this fear, you guys are ducking off into rooms, everyone's looking at y'all crazy, people don't trust him, they're weird and they're nervous, he's gonna hit them, but he's never hit you. I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense. I felt like she was.
No, you're right. Because then everybody in New York is just so scared of Kevin, right? But he ain't never hit you. But then you just pop up on TV with a broken arm one day and you done failed and broke your arm yourself. Absolutely not. Around the time she had that broken arm is when she found out that that woman was pregnant. Or that's probably when she found out that he was sleeping with her and she had a house. That was around that time.
Yeah, also in her documentary, she said some really, I just thought it was pretty weird. She was like, yeah, I'm not saying he's a woman beater or anything. I fell down the steps one time. It was me. I fell. I don't know, just the way she said in the context.
And she was trying to force it like, oh, he never hit me. No, girl. I remember. I talked about this. They said in that house, and it probably was that wine cellar, because I'm sure little Kevin couldn't go down there. That was the ass whooping room where Kevin would go and take Wendy and whoop her. And then they were saying that there was a soundproof room. And I feel like that was the room where he would take her and whoop her ass. That's what I was heard. That's what I was told. And I believe that.
Also,
But
I wish she would have dived into her health a little bit more, too. Side note, besides all this, because it kind of just starts and then boom. Now she's got to deal with stuff and then she passes out. It never really goes into it, and she kind of never really goes into it either, except for she's like, I'm hooked up to my lymphedema machine. Like, we don't know when she got diagnosed with this. Like, there's such a mystery around that, too. I thought that was pretty weird.
And yeah, you're right, because what kind of confused me is in the documentary how they tried to kind of almost insinuate she passed out because Kevin was cheating, or she found out that he had the baby, but that was two totally different things. And girl, you have been knowing well before that he was cheating. You've been knowing he's been cheating for the last 13 years. So that didn't make you pass out. I feel like there's something more that's going on with Wendy Williams' health that she's not ready to expose yet. And we probably won't find that out until the end, if you know what I mean.
She also contradicted herself because she's previously said that the pass out was from the health, and she's kind of went back and forth with that too. So I don't know. It was just a lot of I don't know what's going on. It was really good TV, nice, but like a Wendy fan, like you said, I got a bunch of I don't know.
No, I'm with you. You're right. Thanks for bringing that up. Thanks, caller. Bye. Oh yeah, allegedly on the ass whooping room. I don't know if that's true. 7878, you're live on the air.
Hi, Armon.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, it was great. I loved the movie, the documentary. It almost made me cry. I'm almost choked up talking about it right now because it was like devastation to me. How a woman went through all these miscarriages and gave birth to a stillborn and all that stuff. It just hurt my soul.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, I'm almost in tears right now just talking about it. I really feel for Wendy. When she cried, I almost cried myself.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that too, but it just shows like the resilience and the power that she has, because she'll literally go through all this. But it goes to show you, like, for me, I think my biggest things when it comes to her is like this woman, like, literally ignores everything. All she sees is that chair, that microphone, the job, the fame, the whatever, the job. Like, I lost these two babies, whatever. I have to keep moving. It's the show must go on. I've done this. And, it's like the resilience in that is just like, she ain't giving up that seat. You know what I mean? Wendy Williams is going to die behind a microphone and a seat, because it's like she's went through it all and she's like, I'm still not going to stop. It's crazy. She's like, whatever. Like, she just blacks it out and just keeps going. It's like, what?
Exactly. She is a powerful woman anyway. I want to give it up myself.
Yeah, I totally understand. Thank you, caller.
All right, have a blessed night. Love you, Armon.
You too. Have a good night. Love you too. Thanks for calling in. All right, let's take another caller. Who do we got? 3535. You're live on the air.
Hi, Armon.
Hey, what's poppin'?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Now, I'm a big Wendy Williams fan.
Okay.
Her since radio days. So, and my mom's a big fan. My mom just started with the TV show. And so we saw her from two different angles. I don't think she was ready for the biopic yet.
Right.
And why I say it, because she wasn't ready. She's telling her truth that she's in now, but it's not the big truth that she needs to get to. Like you mentioned, the guy never talked to Kevin. Well, he didn't have to, because Wendy is still in love with him, so she still painted Kevin to be a good person, when in reality we know he's not. You can't say he's the most loving and protective person, and then in the end, he emotionally abused you, and maybe physically too. So
I'm with you on that.
Been watching her, with people who've been watching her just TV, they see it as a good thing. But somebody who's been watching her before the TV, we know it's a lot missing, and it's more to the story that should be great.
Yeah. Okay, I can hear that.
It should have been yeah, I think it should have been a miniseries. She could have kept the movie and gave us more of What a Mess. What a Mess I love more than the movie.
What say that again? What a what?
You know, the documentary was called Wendy Williams, What a Mess.
Oh yeah, What a Mess. Yeah. The documentary was better than the movie to me. She should have waited. I feel like we could have got the documentary, but then we could have got a real cinematic, like that shit needed to be in the theaters, man. Like with a big butt, like she could do it. And I feel like without the narration, just cast the people and let the story play. Like I don't want any voiceover, no voiceover. Just tell us the story from start to finish.
Yeah,
for 2.5 hours, and I'm there. I'm here for the whole 2.5 hours.
Me too. I will be there front row. I don't even need popcorn, so I need to focus.
Right.
But I also want her to get into more of her childhood, because watching it, let's look back at that time. I think her mom was probably so hard on her, because clearly they came from money. You saw the maid in the house, the maid gathers the sheep. So I think her mom was trying to live up to this lifestyle, and she put so much pressure on Wendy being a bigger girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because Wendy didn't fit the lifestyle that they had. And I get it, no matter what, you want to respect your mother, but I don't think she was ready to tell how much her mother affected her. So we need her to heal more so she can tell her story properly.
Yes, because I think that, and I think that I'm here for a Wendy Williams movie. You know, listen, even if we have to get it at the end, if Wendy Williams passes away and some cinema wants to do a Wendy Williams movie, I'm here for that too. It is what it is, because it needs to be told again.
One last thing, Armon. One last thing. I think the reason she was so obsessed and in love with Kelvin, we know that she didn't have friends. Because even in the documentary, I can't remember the lady's name now, maybe Lisa or something. That didn't look like anyone Wendy would hang out with.
Yeah, and then where was Homegirl? What's her name? The one that was the white one. What's her name? That was doing the interviews and stuff and saying she was Wendy, and then was going at Nene Leakes over Wendy Williams. What's her name? Why she wasn't in the documentary?
Because I think Wendy shut out everyone, and it could have been people were trying to open up her eyes to Kevin for a long time. I think she shut everybody out. Wendy does not have friends.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why when the divorce did come out, she was hanging with people like Black China.
Medina, that's her name. Thank you for that. Where was Medina in the documentary? And you know, hell, I would have liked Norman to be in the documentary. He's the show.
Yes, and even though, you know, I don't agree with everything Charlamagne said, I think Charlamagne pulled out of the documentary because he realized Wendy wasn't healed enough to tell that story.
He was in it.
Because he said he shot. He said he shot for it, but then he told him he didn't want to be in it. He shot for it.
But he's in it.
But not, no. Okay, so you saw like a pre-screening, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and he mentioned that on the Breakfast Club.
Oh, he's not in the full regular one? He's not in the regular one?
I didn't see him.
Oh, child. He wasn't on the one on TV? Oh, don't get me the line, child, because I didn't watch it last night. He's the one that screen I'm in. He was in it.
No, he was in the movie where, like, he told him.
No, he's in the documentary. He's in the documentary. Or he wasn't last night. Oh, no, they said he not in it. Oh, they must have cut that out.
And he said it because he was basically threatened on the Breakfast Club to get his lawyers involved because Angela Yee mentioned he was in it, and he said they still got a few days to get me out.
Oh, so they chopped him out.
Yes. And I think he doesn't see her at her best or something because he signed up, but he came out of it.
Oh, child, because I'm like, I didn't watch it last night because I seen it, but I'm like, Charlamagne, that's why I'm like, Charlamagne said he hopes that she's looking for she gets the happiness that she's looking for. Like, he said he really hopes she's happy. Like, he talked like he's in it.
Not TV version, he's not.
Oh, child. What happened?
That's what I want to know.
He was in. Now, y'all talking about the movie? No, I'm not talking about the movie with the actor. I'm talking about Charlamagne was actually in the documentary. Oh, wow. So they pulled him out. So he said that. So why did he say he wanted to? Wait. So give me the girl. That's some tea. So what happened?
Now, from what I can remember on the Breakfast Club interview, I think Angela Yee went to a screening. They was talking about it, and it came up about him being in it, and he was like, he shot for it, but he decided not to be in it. Angela Yee was like, no, you're definitely in it. And he was like, no. He was like, I'll be contacting my lawyers. They got like 2 or 3 days to get me out of it. He said he.
Oh, wow. So you didn't see Charlamagne talking in the documentary at all?
No. Like they showed a picture of him, Wendy and Kelvin standing up together, but
he was being interviewed like everybody else, like Suzanne and everybody. He was in it. So yeah. Oh wow.
He did, but he said he didn't sign a release to be on there.
Yeah, because he was blaming Kevin Hunter. He said Kevin Hunter was a monster. That's what he said in the documentary.
Yeah, and it's on the Breakfast Club, he will mention sometimes how even though him and Wendy had that big come to Jesus and they hugged, cried, whatever happened, he's still not interested in having a relationship with her. And he said it's like, that's just something he's over. That's his past. So it's still bad blood there.
Oh, child. Now I got to go back and watch the damn. See, I knew I should have watched it last night because I'm like, okay, they're going to crop stuff out and add stuff. But oh, wow. Because I got the raw, unedited version.
So now I need you to watch it and tell us what else we missed out on.
Yeah, now I'm about to do. Yes. I didn't know that. We might have to have a watch party in the members only. All right. Thank you, caller.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Somebody said you didn't watch the movie. No, baby. I got the movie sent to me. I seen it before y'all seen it. Stop playing. I didn't watch it last night though because I'd already seen it 2 weeks ago. I had watched it twice. I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna keep watching that. I keep falling asleep. Shit. But anyway, what happened? 8017.
I didn't watch it last night though because I'd already seen it 2 weeks ago.
Okay, y'all wasn't ready. All right. I'm gonna take one more. Let's go. 8242. You live on the air. Okay, it starts to give that towards the end. So you know what? We're doing good. So you gotta know.
Thank you for using Blog
when
Talk
it ended.
Radio. Goodbye.
All right, y'all. Well, that lady came in and gave us some tea. I had no idea that that had happened. But either way, I thought the documentary was great. I thought the biopic was great. I thought the documentary was better. And I think that's what I told you all, that I felt like the documentary is better. And so now you guys can let me know which one you think is better. But I love y'all all. And make sure y'all, and I'm gonna go read back and watch the regular doc, and then I'm gonna watch the one I got, and I'm gonna compare notes, child, and see if there's something that's really important. But that's a lot of watching that doc over and over and over. But I skipped. Oh dang, I did skip you. Okay, let me open this back up because that's my girl. I'm gonna open it back up for you. I did skip you. I'm gonna open it back up for you, girl. Okay, let me open it back up for you. I did skip somebody, y'all. You know, we got to open it up for our paying patrons, girl. I did skip her. She calls all the time. Very loyal. So I will open it back up for you. Just I have to make sure when people stop answering and stuff, you know, child, it gets a little crazy. But we back open. Open for business.
Press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Your show is scheduled to start in 30 seconds.
Okay, so call in. Hold on. Where's she at? I'm looking for a specific number. Can we have a part 2? We can have a part 2.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, listen, tomorrow I will be on Clubhouse.
Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, she don't want to come on now. All right, I'll give it to you next time. All right, so we will come on tomorrow. I will be on Clubhouse with Jason Lee, T.S. Madison, and Funky Dineva. So if you guys are on Clubhouse, please check in. Head over to Clubhouse. We'll get into some things over on Clubhouse. All right, if she don't call in, I'm gonna wrap it. But yeah, so I'll see you guys there on Clubhouse. I am on the well, we'll talk about that on another day. I got, you know, we won't do too much today. But listen, y'all, I love y'all all. And then I will see y'all on the flip side. Okay. All right, I'm ending it. I'll get you on the next one, boo. All right.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, y'all. So we've had a phenomenal show. See you guys on the flip side. Be easy, be breezy, and be black, be proud, you know, be whoever you are. See ya. Hold on, we gotta bring that back. I like that. Let me see.